Let me correct that question a bit. Yes, I've been in international forums, met many leaders. You added great leaders. So, many leaders, not always so great. Yes, there are a few great leaders, no question about that. Where is the world heading? There are many possibilities because we have capabilities and technologies which no other generation could ever dream of. Will our capabilities turn against us or will they work for us is the big question. If all the human capabilities which are so hugely enhanced because of technology, everything that an individual human being could do has expanded manifold. In this enhanced state, and our numbers have increased tremendously. In the beginning of 20th century, we were just about 1.5 billion people. Today, we are 7.3 billion people. The United Nations making predictions that by 2050, we will be 9.7 billion people. If all these people get educated, get technologically empowered, 9.7 billion people or nearly 10 billion people on this planet is for sure going to be a disaster. We can make arrangements and arrangements, we can improve the arrangements, we can make more energy-saving machines, we can recycle the shit. Yes, we can do all this. But if we don't come to our senses with human populations, there's going to be… I want you to just imagine how the world will be if the population almost goes up by 50% tomorrow. Just imagine your town, how it will be if 50% population increases tomorrow morning. Or in other words, no matter what we create, no matter how much we strive, whatever we build, everything is going to be insufficient because the planet is going to be insufficient. Of course, we are looking at planets which could sustain life outside of this solar system. We have found 2, 3 very promising planets. It's just a little, not in the walking distance. A few thousand or a million light years away. Great planets, I believe. But this is the thing, but nobody wants to address this issue. Everybody wants to talk about cosmetic solutions, not address the basic problem of expanding human population. I was in a conference and I said, see, unless you reduce the human footprint on the planet, there is no solution for anything. Then they asked me a brilliant question, how do you reduce the human footprint? I said, you have to reduce the number of feet. That's the only way. So, right now, it doesn't matter what others think. All of you who are here and those of you who are hanging out with me, we can take it upon ourselves that we will not push the human population. You can have a dog. A husband and wife were having a debate. whether to have a child or not. The husband wanted a child, the wife hesitating because she will lose the shape of her body. Husband, having a baby is simple. But for the woman, it's too many things involved. So debate was going on, and then they came and the debate moved into an area where should we have a baby or should we get a dog? And they could not decide. They went to a counselor. They put their problem in front of him. So he said, you got to just make up your mind whether you want to ruin the carpets or you like. I'm not saying children are bad, they're wonderful, but it's just too many. We as human beings, we are wonderful, but we are too many. We are so many that the insect population is going down. No, it's not a joke, it's very threatening. If the insect population disappears, the planet will be destroyed. Yes, the worms disappear, the planet will be destroyed. If you and me disappear, planet will flourish. So, leave the leaders alone because in every conference that you meet, very cosmetic solutions are being talked about. How to adjust the marketplace, okay? How to do this, how to do that. On immediate scale, yes, those things are necessary, but you're talking about what is the future of this world. If that is so, if we want a future for this world, if we want our children and their children to live well on this planet, the only way is to bring down human population. Not by doing some horrible act, but if we have… See, our life expectancy has improved. This means we have taken death into our hands. When we take death into our hands, it is our business to take birth also into our hands, isn't it? If we convince the population of this one thing, future is very bright because tomorrow morning the sun will come up, what's the problem?
Respected Guruji, I am a Buddhist and a Vipassana practitioner. I have a question which I have asked many Vipassana teachers and other gurus, but everybody said that no one can answer this. In one of your video you mentioned, and also it is said in Buddhism, that rebirth is due to our unfulfilled desire or karma. I accept this, but then a question arises. Let us suppose I took birth for millions of times because of my karma desire, but before my very first birth, there was no body, no mind, karma, desire, or nothing of me existed. Then why and how that very first birth came to existence?
Now, even I'm wondering about that about you. Well, no, you are a decent guy, I'm like this, what should I… Let's take that question further back. It's not just about your birth. Well, in the yogic culture, there are theories which are explained in the form of dialectical stories, how Shiva was like Shava. Shava means a corpse. He was inert, phenomenal energy but inert. Then energy or Shakti came and danced around him, upon him, then he woke up. Well, we are picturizing it as a man and a woman, but that's not what we're talking about. Inert means nothing happening, no reverberation. No reverberation means no creation. Energy got introduced, reverberation started. From a simple basic reverberation, it got more and more complex. As reverberations became more complex, it became matter, matter became small molecules, they became planets, planets became many things, life happened, variety of things. You know the evolutionary theory from there on. Evolutionary theory only starts after life has started or at the beginning probably. But if you go back, creation itself, we may not know the exact trajectory of how it happened, but we approximately know how it happened even as per modern science. So in the modern scientific parlance, the same thing is said today that if you apply energy, not even into it, just around it. Suppose you create vacuum in a container and apply energy not into the vacuum, just around it, virtual protons and virtual neutrons will erupt. That means creation begins to happen. Proton, neutron just have to get together for an atom to happen. Once an atom has happened, creation has started. So similar things are said in modern science. I don't want to go into any theories, but obviously creation began somewhere. Somewhere means it may not be within the projections of human mind in terms of time, because it's not one, but in the yogic system, there have been estimates that there have been 84 creations till now, 83 creations till now, this is the 84th one. And up to 112 cycles of creation can happen. Beyond that, creation will be material-free, just pure energy creation. But we're talking in terms of maybe billions of years or trillions of years, I don't know. But those projections are made. Well, obviously it's just a theory. Nobody can prove or disprove anything about it. But it looks like a plausible theory because the markings of 83 creations are there in our system in various aspects of life around us. The markings of 83 and this being 84 are there for those who look very closely at it. So how did you, such a decent guy, happen? Well, so this question doesn't go that far as I took it just now. It's talking about if I did not have karmic substance, how did I happen? That's a question. Well, you don't need a spiritual answer. Charles Darwin himself has explained this. You were a single-celled creature, and then you became two-cell, then you became three-cell, then you became multi-cell. Now you become little more only. Decently better. A decent development from a single cell has happened. So, in the process from the single-celled animal, from an atom to a molecule, right now this is a wonderful time to ask this question because there is virus. A virus is not a full-fledged life. It has proteins and enzymes to make it a life, but it's not yet life. Only when it enters your cell, it has a life. But by itself, it has no life, just a certain combo of protein. So decent, what? Dushyanta?
Divan.
Oh. So you were also pre-life, became life, became more and more complex life. Complexity itself is karma. Karma is not necessarily, even now as you sit here, karma is not necessarily only what you do like this. The thoughts that pass in your mind are karma, emotions that pass in your mind right now are karma. Simply, a thought just passed in your mind. You looked at the person next to you, thought, why is he here? He should be on the roof with the monkeys. Just like that, sometimes thought like this come. Hello. So this karma just happened inadvertently, not caused by you, caused by the monkeys dancing on the roof. So, because monkeys came there, you looked at this guy. At a certain angle, he looked a certain way to you. Maybe it's the lighting, maybe it's the way he sat, maybe something, and a thought came and went. Now you performed a karma. That somewhere you look at another human being and you think he's a monkey. Now this won't stop here, do you understand? Now you looked at him and thought you're a monkey. Tomorrow, we changed your department and you're in the monkey department. Oh my God, I have to work with this monkey today. It will continue. And if suppose the situations are placed like that, he is in charge of the department, you have to work under him. Do I have to be instructed by a monkey like this? It will grow. And this is how you became a racist. All right? Because initially it's just a passing thought. Then depending on situations, how they corner you here, there, slowly it multiplies. This is even happening to every other creature. So gradually, karmic substance builds up, becomes more and more complex. Well, clearly, evolutionary sciences are telling us the initial human beings were very simple, half-bent human beings, very small brain, they couldn't think much, they just survived like any other creature. Everybody knows that, right? So from there you built your karma. I don't know why nobody could answer this question for you, everybody knows this. Maybe they thought you are not worth answering. Because I am such a fool, I don't think anybody is not worth answering. Because I don't think any question is not worth answering, I'm taking all kinds of idiotic questions from all over the world. So right now, you're wasting your time very indecently. Because these are all questions of the vain. Because mainly, your questioning is toward whoever those… I don't know who are those people that you ask questions, in some way you want to make a fool out of them. That's all you're interested in. You're not interested in knowing anything about yourself, you're not interested in having tools for your transformation or growth. You said you went for vipassana. Vipassana means no questions. Simple instruction, just do it and do it. Because that is a process which demands perseverance as the greatest quality. Gautama taught vipassana to large groups of people because there was no time to prepare them. He was every day moving from village to village, town to town, no time to bring understanding into those people. So no teaching, no question, just simple instruction. Get the instruction right, just do it. Slowly it will transform you. It's a bit laborious process, but a fantastic process that even if you have no clue what you're doing, if you just do it, slowly it will transform who you are. When I say transform you, every aspect of you, including your chemistry, gradually it will transform. It's a laborious process because in those times, you must understand, he was teaching 2500 years ago. 2500 years ago, the common wavelength of the society was not intellectual understanding. The common wavelength of the society which lived hard lives was perseverance. People could persevere. Today, To make them persevere, you have to talk to them for hours and hours and hours because they think they understand everything. Those days, people had no such problems. They knew that they don't understand. So you had to just you had to just instruct them and say, do it. And those were good times for the gurus. Because if you give an instruction and say, you must do it, you just do it. You know, my mother, some yogi in Nandi Hills, once we went to Nandi Hills and she showed me the cave where she was initiated. She gave… that yogi gave her some mantra, I don't know who he is anyway. And she never had a picture or she wouldn't even talk, utter his name. But every day she did something with eyes closed. Right through our life, we've been her life, 4 children, husband is her life. She married at the age of 17. And that's her life. But before that, she was initiated and this yogi told her, whatever happens with your life, you must do it every day. Every day she is doing something with her eyes closed. We say, what are you doing? Say, well, this yogi gave me a mantra, I just do it. We want to know what's the mantra. So we played all kinds of tricks on her, tried to compel her, emotionally, blackmail her. You tell us this mantra. Such a gentle and easy person to deal with, always she was. But not once, no matter what, either to her husband or to her children, she ever told the mantra because the yogi said, you don't share this with anybody. I mean to say, it was so easy to instruct them. If I tell you, keep this to yourself, you'll put it on the social media. So, because giving instruction was very effective and simple in the previous generations, especially 2500 years ago, Gautama chose this path. No understanding, no teaching, obviously no questioning, just do it. Only to those who gathered around him, who traveled with him, who were in close association with him, to them he taught shunya because that needs understanding. Without bringing substantial understanding, that won't happen. So you went to Vipassana, that means you must just shut up and do it. Not ask this question, that question, because that question or the answer will not in any way add to your practice. The practice has been designed in such a way, irrespective of who you are, if you do it, it will work. It's just that it's a bit laborious. You have to do it for hours every day, for a long period of time. But it will work, it's a fantastic device for those times. Even now it is for a whole lot of people. So, don't waste your time. The decent thing for you to do is, if you're here, I don't know where you are. If you're here, take instructions and just do it. Otherwise, stick to the Vipassana and do it, one way or the other. Take one forward step. Rather than standing in the same place and looking all over the place, it won't add to your life in any way. It's just that in foolishness you will think you're smart by gathering these things. Maybe now I have said what I have said, you will go and tell somebody else, you know what Sadhguru said, this is what it is, even he doesn't know. Or you will make it your answer and put it on the social media. Whatever you do, it's of no use. Existentially, if you want to move on, you must do something existential within you. You do psychological things and you think you will move on, you will not. You know what is my handicap? You want to know? Simply, being straight and honest is my big handicap. Yes, no deviousness, this is my handicap, what do you think? Tell me, Sadhguru, it's not a handicap. Hey, Some of my advisors think this is a handicap, I'm too straight and blunt about too many things. But that's the way I will be. Don't like it?
So Sadhguru, I love tattoos. I have a lot of tattoos. and I'm and I'm sure a lot of people in this room do. So when I got my first tattoo, there was a lot of clash of opinion between me and my parents. We fought a lot. Like, why did you get this? So my question to you is getting a tattoo something which looks unprofessional, or is it something which lacks gravitas, or why? Why is this clash of opinion?
Well, the question is, at different times in your life, different things may mean a lot to you. At that moment, if you have yourself marked permanently, and today in United States, tattoo removal is a huge business, it's a bigger business than tattoo, all right? Because, when they were in college, they fell in love, they wrote your name all over the arm, and then it's over, then rubbing it off, you have to peel your skin. So, maybe it's better you wait before you tattoo yourself all over the place to something that matters to you. If you want to write it on your forehead, it better be something that matters to you for the rest of your life. Because after 1 or 2 years, if it falls off, then you'll have to peel your skin. Plus, also, see, everything that you are need not be written on your face. When you want to do work in the world, when you want to do things in the world, it's not necessary everything that you are is all up front. You must have what to expose to whom, isn't it? So if your tattoo is already saying what you are, your philosophy and everything is written, so we know who you are the moment you enter. If you're wanting to live a very simplistic life, it's okay. If you're looking for a more complex involvement in life, it's better people are not able to mark you in any particular way. Shall I tell you my experience with tattoos? No, I don't have any. I'm too dark for the tattoos, what to do? Is there a white color tattoo?
There is a white color.
Okay. We've been working in the prisons, both in India and United States. This movement is called Inner Freedom for the Imprisoned. It's a very touching movement. So when I was in Kentucky Correction Center, it's a high-security prison, there was one guy who's a tattoo maker. He makes tattoos. So I was doing a 10-day program there for these prisoners, so they got really pally with me. Then they revealed, I said, where do you get these tattoos? Within the prison. Everything is searched, okay? Even from your body orifices, everything is searched so that nothing goes in. But somehow this guy tattoos everybody at a tremendous price, okay? And he showed me all his tricks, how he tattoos. He breaks off one little thing off the fork and sharpens it and sharpens it, makes it into a needle. Anything little plastic he gets, bits and pieces of plastic he gathers, melts it out, and different colors. You should see the prisoners, they're tattooed from head to toe. This decides which gang they belong to. It's like a particular type of tattoo means you belong to this group. Wherever they go in they have a lingo that this is where you belong. And it also tells them what grade of criminal are you. Are you really high grade or low grade criminal? Literally entire torso is always tattooed for most of them, and this is the guy who does it. And all these people, they have made this thing that they owe him. When they leave the prison, if they ever go back, they owe him how much it is, thousands of dollars they owe this guy. He's keeping accounts of all that, writing it on his arm. Accounts. So, it was an incredible thing to see. I told him, you show it how you do. Well, the guards were there, he said, I cannot show it, but he explained to me how he does it. It's just ingenious. Within the prison, what he is doing with these tattoos. If you really want to get a good tattoo, Kentucky. There are no subtractions and divisions in our mind. there is only addition and multiplication. I will just remove negative thoughts and I will have positive thoughts. All the best, it's not going to work. It's just that you need to pay little attention as to how it functions. You will see there is a distinction between what is you and what you have gathered. Well, see the way the question is asked and also the way normally it's addressed is, people think there is something called as negative thought and positive thought. They want to remove the negative thoughts and have only positive thoughts. For such people, I would ask them to just experiment for 10-15 seconds. Let them forcefully remove one thought from their mind. For example, next 10 seconds, just don't think of a monkey. Try not to think of a monkey for next 10 seconds. You will see you will be full of monkeys. So what I'm saying is, this is the nature of your mind, because in this mind, all the three pedals are throttle. There is no brake, there is no clutch. Whatever you touch, it will only go faster. In this kind of mind, people have been taught from moral teachers and religious teachers, do not think about bad things. Well, since then it's been a full-time job. So there is no way you can handle the mind like this. This doesn't need any great enlightenment. If you spend 2 minutes with your eyes closed, you will realize you cannot do anything forcefully with this mind. So, I want to remove negative thoughts. Do not ever go in this direction, because what you want to remove will become your quality. Always you will be on. So what should I do? The thing is this, without understanding the fundamental mechanism of this mind, because our mind, human mind, is the most sophisticated computer on the planet. Even all the supercomputers have come out of this. When this is the case, is it not important that we understand the mechanics of how it functions? One simplistic aspect of how it functions is, there are no subtractions and divisions in our mind. There is only addition and multiplication. If you try to do something with it, it will say one more. If you try hard, it will multiply into many more. In this mind, you don't try to identify what is positive, what is negative and try to remove it. First of all, one needs to understand, this mind of yours, this body of yours is supposed to serve you. The life that you are is important. Body and mind are vehicles that must serve us. If you sit in a vehicle, it must go where you want to go. If it goes to its own destination, what is the point of such a vehicle? It's just a nuisance. Right now, most human beings are unfortunately experiencing this fantastic possibility of human mind as a nuisance, as a troublesome thing. Well, this is the most beautiful thing you have. It's just that you need to pay little attention as to how it functions. One simple thing is this. First and foremost process is, that's why we put out this process called Isha Kriya. This is to distance yourself from your physiological and psychological process. There is something called as you which exists. This is not a composite of all your thoughts and emotions and physiological processes. Beyond that, there is you. If you close your eyes, even if you cannot see anything, you're still there. It is through the window of your eyes that you're looking out, but if you close your eyes, it doesn't mean that you don't exist, you still exist. So beyond your thought, you still exist, beyond your emotion, you still exist. So that you, the life that you are, this has to come into your experience. Why is it that you're not allowing that to come into your experience, which is the most significant aspect of who you are? Who you are right now, the most significant aspect is, you and me are alive right now, this is it. What I'm thinking, what you're thinking is not the important thing. We are alive right now, that is the important thing. So, it is important that you focus on this fundamental sense of aliveness within you, and then you will see there is a natural distance between you and your thought process. Once there is a distance between your psychological process and your physiological.
How can you avoid angry?
See, if you're driving on the Coimbatore streets, If you're driving in the Coimbatore street, you have to avoid the medians which are placed in odd places. You have to avoid bad drivers. You have to avoid drunken men crossing the street, children crossing the street, all kinds of things. But when you're driving in Coimbatore street, do you have to avoid the moon? I'm asking, do you have to avoid the moon? No, because the moon is not on the street, isn't it? So similarly, right now are you angry? No? Then why should you avoid it? There's no need to avoid it. It is just that you think anger is an entity. Anger is not an entity. You become angry. You become angry. Anger is not sitting somewhere and you go hit it. There is no such thing. You become angry. When you become angry, is it pleasant for you or unpleasant for you? Unpleasant for you. Unpleasant for others for sure, unpleasant for yourself also. Today, medical science proves to you, when you're angry, you're actually poisoning your system, you know. We have always known this, but today chemical tests clearly show you that you're actually poisoning your system, generating poison in the system by being angry. So, why would you want to poison yourself? It is not a conscious act. You're poisoning yourself, you're causing unpleasantness to yourself only because your mind is not taking instructions from you, isn't it? It is not taking instructions from you. If it was taking instructions from you, you would have said blissfulness, isn't it? You wouldn't say anger. But now when you want to be peaceful, it is getting angry because it is not taking instructions from you. So if your mind is not taking instructions from you, you have to pay a little more attention to it. Why is it not taking instructions from you? If you understand this, you don't have to avoid anger, because anger is not sitting there and getting at… You are becoming angry, you are becoming unhappy, you are becoming miserable. These things are happening to you essentially because you have not done anything to take your faculties under your control. It is happening accidentally, just by chance. If outside situations are good, you are also good. If outside situations are bad, you're also bad. That is not how human life should be. Human life should be like this. If I am good, everything around me becomes good. This should be the reality, isn't it? Right now, if things around me are whichever way, I will become that way. No. Human consciousness should create situations. Right now, situations are creating human consciousness. That's not the right way to shape human life.
Because we have enough science to tell you that if the organic content in the soil is 3%, what are the extra micronutrients which are present in that food and what are the health benefits? This is not happening only because of lack of singular direction and commitment. That's what I would like to bring to the COP15 in Ivory Coast. Every nation, poor or rich, can do it and it should be done.
Sadhguru, you are expected to attend the 15th session of the Conference of the Parties to the UN Convention to Combat Desertification. This conference will be held in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, in West Africa, from 9 to 20th of May. World leaders, ministers, civil society organizations, experts, the world will rally to Abidjan by thousands to discuss the issue, the very important issue of land and soil. And we very much we are looking forward to your participation to this conference. I believe Abidjan is one of the cities that you'll be visiting during that 100-day. What do you expect from a conference of the parties like this one in Abidjan, and what do you hope to accomplish there?
One thing I would request yourself and UNCCD as a whole to in some way get the focus more on topsoil.
The other concerns are there, I'm not saying you should give it up. But in terms of simple policy, we must bring the concern to this. This is what I would like to appeal to these 197 nations, including the European Union, which is an important part of setting an example. The important thing is this, that there must be an incentive for a farmer to raise the organic content. Right now, there are various products which are considered organic. What are the other products? They are definitely not inorganic, we know that. So, if we change the label itself, that it is a certain percentage of organic content, for example, right now, Northern Europe has 1.48%. If Northern Europe offers this incentive to the farmer, if you raise it to 3% organic content, it's very easy to test the organic content of the soil, it can be done on the field, you don't need a lab to do that. So if that is done, this product, by converting the land into 3% organic, or 3% is not the best thing. 3% is starvation diet for the microbial life. But at least let that much happen because at least they stay alive. Below that, they are dying and desertification is happening means microbial life is being starved to death. That's what it means. So at least keep them alive, and as it raises, you label the product according to its organic content. In the meanwhile, the businesses and industry can jump in and see that the farmer gets the carbon credit. It's very important we enhance the remunerative aspect of farming, otherwise nobody will be farming in another 25–30 years' time. So another thing is the product will find different ladders in the marketplace, 3%, 4%, 5%, because we have enough science to tell you that if the organic content in the soil is 3%, what are the extra micronutrients which are present in that food, and what are the health benefits, what are the preventive health benefits, all this is well established. We just need to collate this and establish a roadmap that the whole world moves towards a minimum 3 to 6% organic content in the next 8 to 12 years' time. It is very much doable because just if you bring cover crops in summers or winters according to the nature of one's climate, just the cover crop and plow it back into the land, if you do this, within 6 to 8 years, most lands will reach 3% minimum. So, it is not doable, nor does it take enormous amount of money. It is only a question of single-pointed direction and commitment. What we have seen in India is to put cover crops, if government has to give subsidy for the seeds to be thrown into the soil, out of which you are not taking any crop, it is just being used as humus. If you have to do that, it just costs 450 rupees per acre, which is just 5 euros or less than 5 euros per acre. Every nation can do this. It does not need heavy budgets. If you want to do it within 2 to 3 years' time, it'll cost a little more money. But if you want to do it in 6 to 8 years' time, every nation can do it. This is not happening only because of lack of singular direction and commitment. That's what I would like to bring to the COP15 in Ivory Coast, that these 197 nations, if they look at it this way, that a singular focus towards topsoil and a commitment towards that, this doesn't take money, this doesn't take any great technology. Every nation, poor or rich, can do it, and it should be done. If you are interested in the future of this world and the future generations, UNFAO goes about to say the food that we are eating right now belongs to the unborn child. Eating up the food of the unborn child hurts me deep in my heart. It feels like we are committing a crime against humanity itself.
Well, thank you very much, Sadhguru. Thank you to all listeners and viewers. Millions from around the world follow you, Sadhguru, and we hope that they will do more than just following you in your videos. They will following you with actions. And we would like to call all people in the world to actually take care of this very important natural capital of ours, because it is life. It is our food, it is our air, it is the quality of the water, it is the quality of our health, and it is the quality of the food, the nutritious food that we all need. So I would like to thank you all very much for your participation. Thank you, Sadhguru, for your tour.